If you look at the screen over there, can you see the drying up of the heavy clay soil? This is due to the frost fall that was there at the beginning of March, low temperatures, and the heavy clay soil dried up in a very obvious way. And the reason why it's dry in the heavy soil and not in the loam or in the silty soil on both sides is that there is no capillary rise of water from underneath. That's the reason. So the heavy clay soil there is ready to be drilled if there hadn't been winter wheat already on it. So that's the advantage of the heavy clay soil, a very fine tilth if the frost is there. The disadvantage could be seen 10 days ago when we created this pitch. You can see it there. On the left-hand side is the heavy clay soil, and on the right-hand side is the winter wheat on the loam. And you can see the difference in heading there. The slow, clever soil meant much slower heading of the winter wheat. Right. So then we look on the winter oilseed grape over here. We have 3 different crop rotations this year. Over there, far away, is the winter oilseed grape in a 3-year crop rotation, in a German or an English crop rotation. So 2 years of winter wheat, 1 year of oilseed grape. In the middle there is even worse, with oilseed grape every 2nd year. So 2 years ago we had oilseed grape there as well. And then over here is an oilseed grape crop after a 2 year of laying, grass clover. So 2012 and 11 we had lay here with grass and clover, and you can see the remains of it here, where you see the root of the clover. That's going to still be there in another couple of years, I guess. Now, there was no difference here to start off with, not in the autumn and not in the spring as well, until sometimes mid-May, when this one had a big jump forward, and you can see the lush and green crop stem there as a result of a better soil structure, apparently. Now, we also did spraying with something that is not allowed in this country, with Juventus, which is fungicide with the active ingredient metconazole, allowed in Denmark, Finland, I don't know about the Baltic countries, is it? Yes. Treatment to cure it from blackleg phoma, but also to regulate the crop stand. If you have a good hit, that's the effect you can see on the screen there. To the left is the effect of the metconazole, giving a much shorter plant, and to the right is the untreated plant. We didn't have that effect here, but we had what we thought at least a better crop rooting. To the right on that picture is from over here where we have the Juventus treatment. Right, that leads us to a discussion of roots and a general anatomy lesson here. That's a plant of a oilseed grape, spring oilseed grape, 3 or 4 days old. You see the root tip, and behind there comes the zone with the root hairs. The root hairs have one big function. It increases the area of absorption to absorb nutrients and water. And that goes for all the crops that we have in here, all the agricultural crops, the same thing. In the root tip, the area over there is called the root cap like this one, root cap. And behind the root cap comes the division part, the growth center, where the cells divide where one cell becomes 2 and 2 becomes 4 and so on. One of the cells that is divided elongates, gets thinner and longer, and that's the reason why a root grows into the soil. And this is the general picture, goes for monocots or dicots, doesn't matter. The root hair zone and the root cap and the cell division. Now, what is different between the crops is the root velocity or the root rate, where the roots grow into the soil. Depicted in this picture. Rothastighet means root velocity in millimeters per day. And this is a calculation based on 50 degrees centigrade. Now you see there's a huge difference between the different crops here. To the very left, lök means onion, and to the very right is oil radish. And you see that the oil radish moves forward in the soil 10 times as fast as the onion does. So 10 times the pace is the oil radish velocity. And that's the reason why the oil radish, as a cover crop, drilled in August sometime, can reach down to 1.5 meters or even 2 meters already in November sometime. But there are also some other differences, and you can see something höstvete, which is winter wheat, and then to the right is winter oilseed rape, höstgrass. The difference between those two is it's not as big as 10 times, but it's roughly twice the velocity in oilseed rape. So in 10 days, the winter wheat roots grow about 20 centimeters, whereas the oilseed rape roots grow 35 centimeters. And on top of that comes an earlier drilling. And all root growth is dependent on the time you leave it in the soil. 3 years ago we had winter wheat here, drilled at 2 different locations, mid-September and mid-October, and the difference in root depth was about this much when we cut up the hole here. So, knowing this, that oilseed rape is growing very fast roots, and drilled earlier, you get the picture here, showing the oilseed rape, which is black line, and winter wheat, which is the blue line. You see the root depth, the depth in the soil, on the y-axis. On the x-axis is something called root intensity, which is root density. It's measured in Denmark. We borrowed the results, measured in a pipe like this, a plastic pipe, put into the soil on an angle, and then with a camera registered all the different roots being seen on the plastic pipe like this. And what you can see is that the winter oilseed rape has a much higher root density all the way from the topsoil all the way down to the subsoil, all the way down. So faster roots, denser roots, and also thicker roots. And the thick root of the oilseed rape creates a channel which the crop following the oilseed rape can benefit from. This picture shows the infiltration rate in winter wheat after 2 preceding crops. The green bar is wheat, second wheats, that is wheat after wheat. The yellow bars is wheat after oilseed rape. And both in the topsoil to the left and in the subsoil to the right, there is a higher infiltration rate after oilseed rape, due to the fact that the oilseed rape root leaves a channel where the water can infiltrate and grow. So if you turn over there,
about plant nutrition, and to get an effective uptake of the nutrients, we need a good root system. The higher the root density is, the better uptake we get. And on the other hand, to get this good big system of roots, we need nutrients. And the most important nutrient to develop the root system is phosphorus. And phosphorus is a bit tricky because it's quite stick to the soil minerals. The roots have to come to the phosphorus compared to nitrogen, where it's dissolved in the water and it comes to the roots. So that's an important difference. To get a good uptake of nitrogen, if you imagine a cubic centimeter of the soil, to get a good uptake of nitrogen, you need about 1 centimeter of roots. To get a good uptake of phosphorus in the same little cubic centimeter, you need about 5 centimeters of roots. The root system, how it develops, that depends on the soil type, and maybe it's the size of the material in the soil, if you have a lot of organic material and so on. But the crop itself, it has a great importance of the development of the root. And if we look at this potato crop or the carrots here, the root system is not so deep. And if you imagine that you stand on a square meter above the potato, under you have about 1,000 meters of roots. If you instead stand on a crop of spring cereals, then you have about 10,000 meters of roots under your feet. And the most well-developed root system is under grass. For example, rye grass. Then you have under your feet about 50,000 meters of roots. So that's a good explanation of why grass and also winter wheat, it has a very good uptake of nutrients. And you don't need to apply as much phosphorus to grassland and to winter wheat as you need to add to for example, potato. To get a higher effectivity of the phosphorus added to these crops, placement is very good and very important. It's difficult for you to see if you stand a bit away, but if you standing nearby, you can see that here where the fertilizer is placed, you have a lot of small roots around the fertilizer. In this pit we have 4 different soil types, and it's interesting to compare these soils, how they can deliver nitrogen to the crops. Last year we cropped on these 4 soils, we had spring wheat, and then it was very easy to compare the nitrogen uptake in a zero fertilized plot in each soil type. And if we compare the sandy soil there with this soil with a lot of organic material, this one delivered about 60 kilos more nitrogen than the sandy soil did. So that's very important to realize the big difference between the different soil types. This year we haven't been able to measure because we have different crops, but we have measured and compared the loam with the heavy clay soil. And the difference between these 2 soils is about 20 kilos. And that's the reason for that is that the heavy clay soil contains a bit more organic material. And what's interesting is to compare these soils here in this pit with the soils outside. We can see that here in this winter pit we have 50 or 70 kilos uptake, but outside in zero plots all around southern Sweden we have between 25 and 35 kilos, so it's half of what we have here. And the reason for that is that this year we have a very dry and quite cold spring, but in here it has been irrigated. And for the microorganisms making new nitrogen from the organic material is very, very important with a lot of water.
We have done here. We thought it would be very interesting to fix soil compaction under the same circumstances for all these type of soils. We have done it with this machine. It's a Volvo L50, and in the front we have 4 big bags with so we get approximately 10 tons on the 4 wheels. And that's much more than it's recommended for going for soil compaction. We drive this 2 times. That will be, we thought that would be more or less the same as we go over with a slurry spreader. And let's see what happens. We measured the infiltration in these soils, and you can see in the sand we have quite a good infiltration in the unpacked situation there, and just 25% of infiltration where the wheel have packed the soil. And more or less the same situation in the silt here, but we have much more organic material in this one, but it's not, we will have this compaction anyway because of this big machine. And now we're going to look at the clay soil, because you can see there's a big difference in the clay soil. I will show you why. Yes, we start here in this heavy clay soil. You can see in the we have soil compaction here. The structure is good. The water will infiltrate quite good here, because there's a lot of cracks in this soil. You will see the water is coming out quite soon down here. That's because of the good structure in this soil. You see, it's a very big difference. It's very important not to use too heavy machines in this soil. And the last one is below, is the original soil at this place. You can see the water is standing up here, it's standing here most of the day. Actually, it's very low infiltration here. And that's really the strange if you stand up there, you can see very easily that the crop is not so good here. You can see through it and not but here the wheat is quite good. It's depending on the different types of soils and clay here. It's this more elite clay that is not so easily being compacted. Compacted is compact, but the soil, the crop is growing anyway. So that's the difference between these soils. And so it's the end of this show, so I will tell you to leave that way because